Good evening, y'all. Welcome back to the Roottrees are dead. I was just playing for like 10 minutes without even recording, so now I'm a little upset. But it's whatever. I really didn't do shit. I was procrastinating. I was just gonna search up the last person with the star by their name and go from there. Okay. Uh, Arthur, just an Arthur. Distant relative of the Roottrees sisters, is known for her book A Life Between Wars. According to a website, famous Arthurs in the early 60s. Laura's. Lorraine released a few romance novels under her married name. Just come back to that. If I don't find nothing useful here. A little fanfare. When her publisher learned she had been keeping diaries of her famous family, they insisted she release them under her original name. Lorraine Roottrees to take advantage of her family's notoriety. The selection from diary entries released in 1965 as A Life Between Wars spanned from the untimely death of her husband in World War II to coping with the post-war world as a young widow and a mother, as well as her perception on the changing times and societies, all the way through the entry into Vietnam. The content is not considered particularly relevant to modern audience. It has found new life as an excuse in high school English class to show an evolution in writing style, or a look into life in previous generation. After success, Air Diaries, a publisher re-released her romance novels under the name. This included Romance in Court, which gained popularity. She followed the re-release up by writing 2 new sequels, according to fans, referred to as Court Jester series. You find no recent details about. She is listed as retired. Okay, this is cool and all. What if I search up this? I get the same shit. Type shit. What if I type in nothing? Okay. Keep it on. Sorry, I'm gonna do that. How about you? It's her most famous series. All 3 books, different romances, told the same narrative. Ba, 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 ba. Oops, bro, the fuck was that? Alright, let's go back. Wait. I just need a photo. Oops. How the fuck am I supposed to get a picture of her? Oh. There we go, there we go. What was her name? What was them books' name? I'm getting way too much shit. My notebook. Okay. Wait, no. Wait. Why can't I not paste this? Oh my god. Damn. Hardcover student edition. It could have. It seems you've hit the jackpot here. This book is Vision Time Skills. You'll find hardcover edition for students. Is that her husband? At Between Wars. This was from the diaries of Roottrees. Wait a second. Okay. Jesus. Oh my god. Let's come back to that. That's too much. Lauren's diary contains some label pictures. This is 5-piece. Caution, this picture was famous in our house. Caution? Caption. Pop even had it framed. That's him on the left. It was taken in 1934 to celebrate the move to the new warehouse that Eli Jr. designed. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo since Miracle was in it. This is the next generation. An attempt to recapture the spirit of the 5-piece photo of our generation. For old time's sake, we gathered on the warehouse floor. I wanted Eli to stand all the way on the left since to me he looked a lot like Pop did in the one. But I was outvoted by my brothers. He insisted the 4 of us stood together, so we clumped up in the something confusing me. So, this is Miracle. This is Miracle. And that is Miracle. Maybe it might just be me. But that motherfucker look like his name might just be Miracle. I don't know. He in the picture. And it says Miracle. Like OG Miracle. It doesn't say Junior. It don't do any of that. That's what I'm gonna put this here, right? Trust the process. And I'm about to guess. Bam. Okay, it's not her. Bam. Nope, not her. Wham. Okay, it's not her. Where the hell did I get these pictures from? Whatever. Wham. I already chose that one. Wham. Okay, not that one. The bam. Nope. Okay. Think about these. I suppose it's Chintro. They posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Auntie Gwendolyn. You're not famous enough to have her own church? It's crazy. Maybe this will have some clues. Book was published. It consists of diary entries that stretch from 1940 to 1965. The most important event that much of the diary and thoughts revolved around was the loss of her husband Jacob. Jacob died in the final months of World War II. She was pregnant. This left her to raise her son Clark alone. Never remarried. They had one child. Skimming the page of the diary, she was a granddaughter of K. Father's side. Mother family was called the Colsons, but she hardly ever mentioned them. Her father, who says, I was referred to as Pop, is the head lawyer of the, and helped write a legal document called the Clearance Trust. Actual context. The Roottrees have internal shorthand names for the different generations of the family. As often used them 5-piece. First generation of children by our father was in the next generation, the free spirits. Okay. Only one Clark. Her husband, Jacob. Like is that? I'm gonna assume it's him. I'm just gonna assume that these are them on the covers. That makes sense to me. Father was a lawyer. An entry titled written in 19. It's not for the focus. Gwen, who was seems everyone has something to complain about. As an only child, complained of loneliness. I told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing, but it fell on deaf ears during the summer where I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot. I hope I would be the sister I never had, and that I would do the same for her. I even tried to dye my hair blonde to fit with the 2 of them. What a mess. But she just complained. To her, I was the lucky cousin. Now she's off living the glorious life. I'm stuck here with Clark. I must admit, seeing her everywhere contributes to my unhappiness. It's not funny. Her vestige stares at me even now from my coffee table. She gets to be in the starlight. The tales of how she was gallivanting around the world, kissing the likes of Harrison Lee. Oh wait, I think I know what she's talking about. It's a Roottrees woman to be anything other than a housewife, and I am jealous. But we're not a single mother. I make my own way in this world. I'll be a girl within all the luck in the world was jealous of me. Though I have been undoubtedly burdened by a terrible tragedy, I am also lucky to be born into a family that can support me for eternity. I can also raise a child without worry, unlike countless other widows. If any of them were to hear me complain, they would right off scoff just like I did at Gwendolyn. What do I get from this? I mean, if I haven't already found out who that person was, I would get Gwen. Destiny from Roottrees' diary, written in 1958. It focuses on her day. Her grandfather dies. Grandfather Elis announced he would step down as president of the Roottrees Company in a meeting to determine his successor. I wish I had been I wish I'd been a fly on the wall. What the fuck am I saying? He told me that everyone got quite heated. Granddad was furious. None of his sons would take over president, and that's what he gets holding on so long. Architect, preachers, lawyers. Nobody got time for candy. So with the 5 pieces refusing to step up, it came down to the next gen. Pops argued at length that the company should stay with our branch of family since we still have the Roottrees name. I'm not even sure Clancy would have wanted it, but he's the one who was volunteered. Instead, it ended up going to Zach. Even though his surname doesn't match the candy, he's the firstborn son of the 5 pieces. I'm not sure how that's relevant to running a company, but Granddad has always had very particular views when it comes to his bloodline. As Clancy, if it ever came up that a woman could take over after all, Angie's older than Zach, and I'm the next oldest of us all. But he just laughed. I'll never forget the curse words Pop used when he told me I couldn't go with his mother, even the quick-witted, at least the Cat Marks counterback. Maybe they wanted to go to the only member of the family who looks like he samples the product. And that's rude. I feel like I should go over this again. This is 5 pieces. They didn't want to do it. So it came down to this generation. Now they said it was Zach. Although I think Zach has to be like one of these. I think I gotta go back to read that report. Something's wrong. I was just... Finally. I'm trying to get her for fucking forever. I was just flipping through the pictures. And if I knew that was right. Okay. Finally. Shit. Yeah, so I don't gotta worry about that no more. Thank God. Got this. That's all the people with stars. That's all the main shit.